Vice President Yemi Osinbajo hosts Yoruba community leaders from the 19 northern states.
Senate confirms 15 of the 16 nominated members for the NDDC board.
UN Food and Agriculture Organization FAO releases a food crisis report for 16 states of Nigeria.
And on Good Morning Nigeria today, we shall focus on checkmating political thuggery.
One worrisome aspect of Nigerian politics is the fact that every 4 years, that is every election year, violence, intimidation, and thuggery have become common features both during and after elections in the country.
Well, ironically, Kirian, politicians initially come together to discuss peace and the need for a violence-free process. They even signed a peace accord. But that doesn't seem to help. Now, the Nigerian political scene is still plagued with violence in varying degrees. It was even worse during the 2019 general elections that took place in February and March this year.
Very true. You can imagine innocent Nigerians going out on election day with the intention of voting for a candidate that are convinced can change the course of democracy in the state or country, but are unable to do so because of violence, intimidation, and thuggery instigated by the opposition. So, Kingsley, imagine you're at a polling station and thugs come in and start shooting in the air, obviously with the intention of disrupting the process. How will you react?
Well, that's very simple, Kirian. I will, of course, take cover first and then try to get home as safely and as fast as possible, because my number one priority will be self-preservation, as that is the cause for the value of each of our lives.
Exactly. You see, that's one of the biggest problems in Nigeria's political scene nowadays. Thuggery, scare tactics during campaigns and elections, and even after elections, have become rampant to the extent that many distant Nigerians of integrity who would have made meaningful contributions to the development of the country are usually bullied and scared off by the violence and the thuggery permeating the entire political environment.
Well, the truth is that violence is no longer just limited to the election seasons alone. Now, political thugs now attack members of the opposition at will. And the fact that violence is becoming more vicious and rampant in Nigerian politics is indeed very alarming.
And not only the country's future, Kingsley, the youths who may have been armed and manipulated to threaten and destroy lives and property during electoral periods and thereafter, sometimes are permanently scared and traumatized for years after the event. They end up becoming hooked on a life of violence. Something you have done for a while has become part of you, and you can't even leave it.
Oh, that's right. Now, but the truth is that most of the violent flashpoints are known, and the campaign against electoral violence and political thuggery in general can be intensified in those areas so that the youth can be guided and not therefore allow themselves to be used for the selfish gains of political sponsors of violence.
And as the country prepares for the Kogi and Bayelsa states elections, how much has been done to prevent political thuggery from rearing its ugly head during these elections? What can be done to checkmate this dark aspect of Nigeria's political landscape, and how can political thuggery be completely eliminated from Nigerian politics?
Well, Kirian, our guests in our conversation segment will seek to provide answers to those questions that you have raised, and indeed more when we, of course, get into that segment. My name is Kingsley Osadolo, and I welcome you to Good Morning Nigeria, reaching you on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. We are broadcasting live from Abuja.
And I'm Kieran Umayo. Thank you for joining us this morning on the show. This is another edition of Good Morning Nigeria. And of course, we're going to be showing the complementary segments of the program, which will include newspaper review, business, and others. For now, let's join Musbao Dan Rahab for the morning news. Musbao, it's good to see you.
It's a very good morning, Kieran. Good to see you too. Let's bring you the news. Nigeria is well into the process of diversifying its economy with emphasis on sectors such as agriculture, mining, solid minerals and manufacturing. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo stated this when he received the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Nicaragua, Denis Maconde Colindres, and the Minister of Special Delegation of President for Africa, Middle East and Arab, Mohamed Farara Lashtar, receiving on behalf of President Muhammadu Buhari a special message from the President of Nicaragua, Daniel Ortega. Vice President Osinbajo noted that Nigeria and the Republic of Nicaragua share the same view on the need to strengthen existing bilateral relations and expand economic ties. And very similarly, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo received leaders of Yoruba communities in the 19 northern states of the country who came to the presidential villa on solidarity visit.
We Yorubas in the northern part of the country, we believe that this present administration is our administration that backs hope, peace, progress, stability, and oneness together.
From the National Assembly, the Senate has confirmed 15 out of the 16 nominees as members of the Governing Board of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC. The Senate also confirmed Justice John Teremba as Chief Judge of Federal High Court and Justice Benedict Kenyip as President, Industrial Court of Nigeria.
A lot of work to do. You must make sure that whatever is budgeted is properly, prudently, effectively, and efficiently put to use.
Meanwhile, the executives of the All Progressives Congress, APC, led by its national chairman, Adams Oshiomhole, met with President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, during which the party leadership commended the Senate for its level of cooperation with the executive arm of government so far. The national chairman also observed the bipartisan leadership of the Senate, which has yielded fruit through the cooperation of opposition parties.
And it shows that where you have a clear Senate leadership that has the capacity to engage across party divide, and issues are properly articulated, that people can see that what is at stake is not partisan interest but national interest, it is possible to find common ground, to carry everybody along.
We have a Senate today that is primed right from the start to deliver to Nigerians. We campaigned, we said we will have a Senate that works for Nigeria. This Senate works for Nigeria indeed. I want to appreciate all members of the National Assembly, and I'm happy, Mr. Chairman, you also appreciated our colleagues in opposition, the PDP and the YPP.
Former Edo State Governor Adams Oshiomhole also commended President Muhammadu Buhari for signing the Deep Offshore Amendment Act into law in faraway London, which shows how committed he is to the nation's development. Still at the National Assembly, the House of Representatives has urged the federal government to use the Social Investment Program as a platform to initiate a broad-based agricultural policy towards boosting economic growth. This, the House believes, would provide employment to hundreds of thousands of youth in the agricultural sector.
The National Investment Program, with a view to creating the opportunity and possibility of engaging more than 50% of youth population in various agricultural activities.
Now, The health challenges confronting Nigeria's growing population and the need for stakeholders in the health sector to keep strengthening the partnership were issues discussed at the national dissemination and official launch of the 2018 Nigeria Demographic and Health Survey reports at the International Conference Center, Abuja.
We'll make good use of the findings in policy formulation and alignment of our strategies and interventions in the health sector.
And just so you know, there has been a reduction in the number of people facing acute food insecurity in northeastern Nigeria. The UN Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, and its food crisis report on 16 states of Nigeria says the number has dropped significantly from 5.2 million in June 2017 to 2.9 million in August 2019.
Improvement has largely been due to the efforts of government and massive intervention of humanitarian communities, without which the situation would have been worsened.
And that's the news beats on the program. This time, join us for more subsequently. Now, how to cleanse Nigerian politics of violence and political thuggery is all for discuss this morning, as Kingsley and Kieran will take you through with the guest after the break.
The new edition of TV Guide is out, exclusively taking a look at the traditional television and new media. Are they comparable or complementary? Media industry players give perspective on the trends, progress, challenges, and the way forward. Find out on this compelling edition of TV Guide. Expository interviews with stars of the team within our space. Becky Madojemo of NTA, Utibe Umore of AIT, Nifemi Oguntai of TVC, and a host of others. TV Guide, your indispensable companion, also feature Iya Modina.
I'm the CEO managing director of Iya Modina Sister Restaurant. I choose to serve. Shut up your mouth. Let me finish.
A TV drama series on NTA. Let's get to meet the characters behind Iya Modina. This edition also presents exciting features on tourism, culture, entertainment, sports, health, and lots more. Grab a copy at the vendors near you or any NTA station nationwide. TV Guide, your indispensable companion.
Helpline Foundation Nigeria and partners present the 3rd Annual Africa Women Conference AWC 2019, a gathering of experts, institutions, corporate organizations, and individuals promoting the growth, stability, and development of African women, through which various resources available to African women can be channeled towards the sustainable development of the continent.
Keynote speakers: Dame Paul Talin, Ramato Tijani Aliu, Madam Magdala Cooper, Binta Masigarba, Karima Ranim, Ibtisame Azao, Dr. Anissa Nagra, veteran Nollywood actors and actresses.
Theme: Building a Coalition to End Gender Inequality in Africa. Dates: 21st to 23rd November 2019. Venue: Kenzi Manara Palace, Marrakesh, Morocco. For participation and inquiries, visit www.africa-womenconference.org or call +234 806 5388424. AWC, building an Africa where every woman's potential is fully harnessed. Powered by Helpline Foundation Nigeria, Echoes Africa Initiatives New York, International Center for Diplomacy in Morocco.
Hey, bro, what's up, man? Wait. Sure, son, I want the bicycle.
Enjoy more data than before on Airtel Home Broadband. Get up to 160 gigabytes on routers with 25,000 Naira and 55 gigabytes on Airtel MiFi's with 12,000 Naira. More data, more you. Reliable home broadband by Airtel, the smartphone network.
Nigeria Diaspora Investment Summit 2019 holds on the 6th to the 8th of November 2019. The summit will take place at the Banquet Hall Presidential Villa, Abuja, Nigeria. Theme: leveraging diaspora resources for economic growth. Sectors: agribusiness, education, training, healthcare, entertainment, sports, hospitality and tourism, infrastructure and real estate, manufacturing, extractive industries, telecommunications, technology and innovation, waste management and environmental remediation, transportation. For registration, visit www.ndis.gov.ng. For participation and sponsorship, please call 090-177-77008, 0817-2244-660. Convened by the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission.
An award that has succeeded to pool a galaxy of stars from the north, south, east to the west, and central Africa, and also those that are domiciled beyond the shores of Africa under one roof.
Now it's time for us to take some business stories, and here is our correspondent, Abdul Karim Zurmi.
In terms of doing business, Nigeria has improved immensely, gaining the confidence of investors, even further ensuring that the economy is on the right path. In the anti-corruption forum that took place in Abuja, it was stressed that with the right policies in place, with transparency and accountability in all matters, the necessary and right changes will come to pass and the economy will grow to its full potential. Experts see more job opportunities will present themselves and poverty will be greatly alleviated.
We have corruption tackled or reduced to the barest minimum. We expect to see more investments and investors coming because cost of businesses are usually done and analyzed by will-be investors. So if corruption in whatever form is adding to the expensive nature of doing business in Nigeria, then we will have, of course, lack of interest, and the investors will be going elsewhere where the conditions are more favorable and also less corrupt inclined.
With that, let's take a look at the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. With business news, Abdul Karim Zurmi.
Well, thank you for staying with us up to this moment. Next on the program is newspaper review.
Newspaper reviewer Bayo Tebe is right here with us in the studios for today's review session. Bayo, good morning and welcome.
Thank you, Kinsley. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, Bayo, good morning. Yeah.
Thank you. Good morning, Nigeria.
Okay, I have the Daily Sun newspaper, and earpiece, that's one beside the nameplate. Minimum wage. Labour sets December 31st deadline for negotiations with governors to stick to agreed structure with federal government. Details can be found on page 6. Lead story says court stops Operation Positive Identification. That's on page 4. And the photograph right there on the front page shows smoke billowing from a plaza following a fire outbreak at Martins Street. That's the popular Balogun market in central Lagos that took place yesterday. Unfortunately, a policeman was said to have lost his life in that incident. Alleged pension scam may now absent in court. Bail application for ruling November 7th. NDDC, Senate and Executive head for showdown, disagree on tenure of interim board members confirmed. Now, Governor Zulum gingers military to action. That's the governor of Borno State, urges troops to take battle to insurgents' enclaves. Details can be found on page 40. Corruption still in system, say SGF, as Secretary of the Government of the Federation, and SAGE. Details on page 9. Traditional ruler flees Edo community as angry youth raise palace. That's in Ogun. On the way to Onitsha, coming from Benin.
Yeah.
Details on page 12.
That shows that the power belongs to the people.
Well, it's some squabble they're having
over
some issues, yes.
All right, let's turn to the Daily Trust newspaper. The Daily Trust newspaper, below the nameplate,